Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. How you doing? I hope you're having a fabulous Saturday. First, I would like to say hi to all of my subscribers, closet seekers, ladies in blue, and people that will sit there and never not a once ever say anything that's quite alright, people. That's quite alright. You really don't have to say anything. Then I would like to say, please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe right there to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can email me at genevascloset22 at gmail.com. And feel free also to follow me on Facebook right there, people. You see it at Geneva's Closet, because majority of the time when I'm not over here, I am over there. Let's get into the news. And right before I start talking about it, I would like to say shout out to all the people that have been invested in the Maleah Davis case. Shout out to all the people that have emailed me and DM'd me to let me know different things that was going on, just in case you felt like I didn't know. I do want to let you know I did see the article when it came out yesterday, the news saying that the remains of the child had been found, but I didn't want to come right on and say anything just in case something else would have came out. I wanted to just give it a little time, but shout out to you all for just being invested and wanting me to know. And then shout out to all the people that did research on the Maleah Davis case, because I know, look, kudos to you all, because your research, the text messages you found, the court papers that you found, talking to certain family members and posting that information up there, even the people that went and found Brittany's father's obituary thing online. All of that was some really good research that you all did, that you didn't have to do, but you did it because you cared and you were invested in the case. Shout out to all the people that interview people. Interview like Vince's father, Darion Vince's father, interview Brittany Bowen's sister, all of you all, because I am pretty sure the things that was revealed in your interviews and a lot of you all's research will be used, will help the attorneys and the investigators and the detectives and everything in prosecuting Darion Vince and whoever else need to have charges brought up against them. I'm just saying. But let's go into this. So first, I just wanted to give a shout out to you all, because you all were absolutely amazing with this whole thing. But so it came out yesterday. It said month-long search for Maleah Davis ends in heartbreak as police confirmed the trash bag found near Arkansas freeway contains the remains of a child. And it says the search of the missing girl, Maleah Davis, has ended in heartbreak after nearly a month. They believe the remains of a child found in a trash bag along an Arkansas freeway are those of the 4-year-old girl. On Friday night, the remains arrived by plane in Houston, where they will be subjected to forensic testing to confirm the dead child's identity and attempt to determine the cause of death. Do we believe that is possibly her? Yes. But can we confirm it right now? No. Houston Executive Assistant Police Chief Troy Finner said at a press conference on Friday, stepfather Darion Marquise Vince, 27, is being held in Houston jail on a charge of tampering with human remains after allegedly claiming that the girl had died accidentally and admitting that he dumped her body in Arkansas. While I am reading this, I want you to look at the pictures, because I want you to remember the story that we had originally heard, now that Darion has confessed to QuanellX. But look at the pictures. Remember the original story? Yeah, we're going to go back. So we need to remember these things. Houston Police Commander Michael Skillern, if I'm saying that correctly, one of the officers who traveled to Arkansas, told reporters that authorities had found a child's remains in a garbage bag near Interstate 30, close to Hope. Community activist QuanellX said he spoke on Friday in jail with Vince, the ex-fiance of Maleah's mother, who had claimed Maleah was abducted. QuanellX said that Vince claimed Maleah had died accidentally, but then admitted to him that he dumped her body in Arkansas. QuanellX had previously represented Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens, but cut ties with her recently, saying he feared she may have withheld information about the case. Sheriff James Singleton in Arkansas, Hempstead County, said workers found the bag, which had a foul odor coming from it near Hope, about 30 miles northeast of the Texas-Arkansas border. If this is the little girl, we want to make sure that we treat her with respect and dignity. Executive Assistant Police Chief Fender said authorities won't be able to confirm if the remains are those of Maleah until an autopsy is performed. It was unclear how long the identification process would take, Fenner said. Fenner said Maleah's family had been notified of Friday's developments in the case, and he expects a murder charge will be filed in the case. We are here to make sure that the little angel receives some justice, and whoever is responsible, we are going to hold them accountable. This had claimed he, Maleah, and his 2-year-old son were abducted on May 4th by a group of men, 3 Hispanic men to be exact, in a truck. He said he and his son were freed the next day, but the kidnappers kept Maleah and his silver Nissan Altima. Police said Vince's story kept changing and didn't add up. Police arrested Vince and charged him with tampering with evidence, specifically a human corpse. He remains jailed on a $40,000 bond. Meanwhile, the last known images of little Maleah alive show the 4-year-old happily following her stepfather Vince into his Houston apartment on April 30th, but the adorable toddler went inside and was never seen again. You see this picture? This is them in a few years ago. Don't they look different? Don't Brittany Bones look different? Y'all gotta wait till that picture come back up and check that picture out again. To never be seen again. Instead, 3 days later, Vince was captured on surveillance camera emerging from the property alone, clutching a black trash bag believed to be containing Maleah's remains. And then they found in a trash bag or something. The same day, Vince told police that he, his 2-year-old son, and Maleah had been kidnapped by unknown assailants. He claimed that he and the boy had been released, but the kidnappers had taken Maleah and the car. It has also emerged that earlier on May 3rd, Vince would not let Maleah's father see the girl when he came to check on her. Craig Davis, the child's father, and his sister went to the apartment where Maleah lived with Vince and the mother to check on the young girl. Davis said during a Wednesday court hearing, Vince did not let them in, saying Maleah had the flu, and denied their request to see her as she was sleeping, Davis testified. Community activist QuanellX came forward on Friday to say that Vince had revealed the location of the body in a conversation behind bars. Quanell claimed the location of where the bag was found matched where Vince told him he dumped her body. But despite the heinous nature of the crime, in an exclusive interview with Fox 26, Quanell claimed that Vince appeared more concerned about his public image than he did his impending murder charges during their meeting on Friday. I was able by God's grace to visit Darian, Quanell said. He voiced his concerns about how he was being portrayed in the media. He was upset with Brittany. He thought he acted as more of a parent than Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens. But Quanell revealed what stunned him most about his face-off with Vince was that he showed absolutely no remorse for Maleah's killing. What hurt me is he had no remorse. He had no feelings of regret. And I can't stop crying, an emotional Quanell admitted. I had to stop myself from crying because he was so cold in his discussion with me. He cared more about what people think about him than he did with Maleah. There was no remorse. Theorizing why Vince would allegedly commit such an atrocious act, Quanell said he believed the stepfather snapped after finding out that Bowens was having an affair. I asked him, "Are you a cold-blooded murderer?" He said it was an accident. He wanted to make it clear everything he was doing for the children was by himself. He was cold. He had a cold spirit, almost like I don't care spirit. That's the part I expected. Emotions and remorse. There is none. Before the confession, QUANELL briefly legally advised Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens, before announcing that he cut all ties with her this week. I'm a father. I have daughters, QUANELL told Fox 26. It was hard standing by Brittany's side, but I had to do what I had to do, make sure I could find out everything. What happened to Maleah and where is she? QUANELL alleges that he discovered early on with his time with Bowens that she had actively sought to cover up Vince's abuse against her daughter on more than one occasion. She never broke down in private conversations, always before the camera. She refused to ever say anything about Darian, even after charged with tampering with the body. That's what I'm saying. In the interview, she had nothing to say. So is there anything that you want to say about Darian? No. Really, bitch? Nothing. Not a thing. And he's sitting in jail and you ain't got nothing to say. Whatever. Vince's confession comes nearly a month after he first reported Maleah missing on May 4th. He stumbled into a hospital with his 1-year-old son, claiming all three of them had been kidnapped by Hispanic assailants the day before while driving to the airport to pick up Maleah's mother, Brittany Bowens. And that's how he said he got the concussion on his head, because they had knocked him in his head with something. We never found out what quite. And he was in and out of consciousness from Friday evening about 6 p.m. till Saturday evening about 6 p.m. And he had fully woke up once and noticed that Maleah was gone and the son was still there. That's why I put them pictures. We have to remember this far-fetched story. Why is this story important to remember? Because this may happen again. And all them crocodile tears in your story and your bruises and your scratches and your scars and your bleed. Look, if it's off, if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then this is a duck, okay? We have to understand that. And if somebody don't seem like if something seems off, then it's off. This far-fetched version of events claimed the kidnappers let him and his son go, but kept Maleah. Because remember what he said? He said that he heard something with the tire. Boom, pop, something. He got out to check it. It was a car pulled up behind him. 3 Hispanic men got out. They came up to his car. They looked in the car and they looked at Maleah and they said, she looks good. Then that's when they came over to him, knocked him in his head, and then that's where the whole kidnapping ordeal began. Remember the story? Y'all remember that? Okay. Police were quick to point out inconsistencies in his statement, saying he clearly wasn't telling the truth, but they initially failed to produce any evidence in rebuttal. However, after the surveillance footage of Vince leaving the home with the trash bag was discovered, police also found traces of Maleah's blood in his car. What happened to Maleah was an accident, QuanellX told the Houston Chronicle on Friday morning. He says it was an accident and he confessed to me where he dumped her body. He was very specific with the amount of distance and time. When I was able to leave and look it up on my phone, he was to point on the distance and time. He said that he pulled over in Arkansas, got out of the car, walked to the side of the road, and dumped the body off the road. QUANELL said he had met with the director of EquiSearch, which works with the police and missing persons cases to find her. I think it's true enough that I have an airplane lined up at 3 p.m. to fly a detective and several officers to go up there and go ahead and start the search. But on Friday, a police department in Arkansas confirmed that Vince was on his way with them to the scene where the bag was discovered to aid the investigation. Oh, snap. Maleah didn't have to die. That little girl did not have to die, an emotional QUANELL later told KHOU 11. That child was being physically abused and physically tortured in that house, and they were covering it up. It's a damn shame that her mother chose her mate over her daughter. QUANELL had been representing Bowens, who maintains that she had nothing to do with her daughter's disappearance, but he distanced himself from her earlier in the week, claiming she too had changed her story. Bowen says she was out of state when Maleah vanished. Rather than call 911 when her ex failed to turn up for her, she waited for someone else to collect her. She then claimed that he had done something with her daughter in revenge against her for dumping him and calling him homosexual, even though later on she said that she didn't say them things, and that's why she was letting go of QuanellX, because her words, he was a habitual liar. But anyway, Quanell has since claimed to have found his own evidence that Vince was molesting Maleah. He insists that Bowens did not know. Maleah was taken out of her mother's care last year amid claims of domestic abuse. She requires surgery on a brain injury that a mother says she got by falling over and so-called hitting her head on the table, marble table, something close to that, she said, but we wasn't really going for that. I'm sorry, people, I was thirsty. I had to, yeah. Remember the story? And you know what? I was gonna say some things about Darion Vince's father, but I expect him to do that. You know, I most likely would do the same thing for my children. Just be like, no, they didn't, no, they didn't. But the father said that he took care of the children. Brittany's mama mentioned some things about him taking care of the children. Natasha said that she heard some things about Darion taking care of the children. Well, look, I don't give a damn what he was taking care of. He could have been portrayed as the most nicest, sweetest man in the world that was taking care of the children and was working and working hard, and he was babysitting and cleaning the house. Something was off with him because he done sat here and killed this girl, killed 4-year-old Maleah Davis, then took her body, dumped it on the side of the road. Ain't said nothing about it. Then when the time did come to express yourself about the whole case based on what QuanellX said, you had absolutely no remorse. You were mad at Brittany and more concerned with your image to us, and there's no need to be concerned about that. We all think you're pitiful and horrible and think that you're going to get whatever you deserve. So don't focus on us. Worry about yourself. That's what you need to be worried about, yourself, not us, because we already done drawn our conclusion about you and your son's mother. Because come to find out, because I have been trying to figure out about these 3 kids. I'm like, so were all 3 of these kids, were they just Brittany's? Were they Darion's? But I read something that said the youngest child, the youngest one, so the one that he took back with him, that was his child. So I guess Maleah and the middle child, or is it a one older than Maleah? I don't even know. But 2 is Brittany's and the youngest was his, the one that he took with him. And somebody raised the question of, I heard somebody ask, was the 1 or 2-year-old in the car when he did what he did with Maleah, when he dumped Maleah's body? What do you think? Do you think he had the 1 or 2-year-old in the car? He had the 1 and 2-year-old with him the whole time? Pretty sure. What the 1 2-year-old gonna say? What they gonna say? They ain't gonna say nothing, and he know that already. So, but it was something else I was going to show you. And I was going to show you. Let me cut this off right here. Okay, I had found this where Darion's new attorney said that he was shutting this whole thing down. He said he didn't want QuanellX coming in there saying nothing else. Don't come in there and say nothing. Basically, this is the state of Texas versus Darion Marquise Vince. This is a motion to prohibit jail visitation. I'm going to read it the best way I can. It says the defendant is currently an inmate at the Harris County Jail. That's number 1. Number 2 is defendant is represented by Dorian C. Coulter, senior counsel at Hatson something LLP. Basically, the last thing says, number 4 says, defendant moves the honorable court to order the Harris County Sheriff Office to prohibit Quanell Ralph Evans, which is aka QuanellX, also known as QuanellX, and any of his associates from visiting Darion Marquise Vince while Mr. Vince is in the custody of the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Basically. So he don't want you saying nothing else. And so then I seen this. Like I said, shout out to all the people that was doing your research and then came up and found this little piece of things. And what did this say? This is, I guess this is Darion Vince's new attorney. Because remember the last attorney said, I'm gone, ain't nobody paying me. And this is a little bit too complex of a case to not be getting paid, basically. So if I'm not going to get no payment, I'm done. So now he has another attorney, and this is this Cutler man. And it says, so this is what the Cutler man says. QuanellX claimed that his visit with Vince, which Cutler says happened around 9 a.m., garnered a supposed confession. QuanellX completely misled my client. Cutler, whatever, said, I don't know how he was able to get into the jail. He said he was going to provide lawyers. That he said he was going to provide lawyers, that everything was going to be fine, he said. Cutler added that details that QuanellX alleged to have learned from Vince did not happen. Right, bitch? Well, they found the baby. So what is you talking about? It didn't happen. Is you mad that you didn't get the confession? My client did not confess to QUANELL. He did not use the word accident with QUANELL, Cutler said. Oh, okay, so you just upset that he told you, like, man, now you done messed up your case. You shouldn't have said nothing. You should have never told where the body was. That's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about in my other video. An attorney will stick through the thick and thin of all your lies. They can know that you lying and be like, don't tell the lie. Don't tell the truth. Keep the, no. But the QuanellX was acting as a community activist, and he handled the situation a little differently. I'm not sure why the DA's office and Texas ECWU search are giving validity to anything QUANELL says. Okay, remember these words that I'm reading to you right now. I'm going to repeat these words. My client did not confess to QUANELL. He did not confess the word accident with QUANELL. I'm not sure why the DA's office and Texas ECWU search are giving validity to anything QUANELL says. Remember that. QUANELL makes his living off of reward money. Cutler is the second attorney to represent Vince after Thomas Burton withdrew as counsel this week because the family could not pay for his services. It's too complex of a case to be working on for free, he said, adding that he was privately attained. He said he received some compensation, but it wasn't enough. And then it goes on to say, Burton also said that when he represented Vince, he told him not to speak to anyone. Burton also questioned QuanellX's role in the case. It certainly appears he's attempting to practice law without a license, Burton said. Now, this is the first attorney. QuanellX also told Vince that he was going to be representing him, Cutler said. Vince was under the impression that his family had sent QUANELL after Burton withdrew and that QUANELL was taking over representing, according to Cutler. In a phone call, QuanellX said he was not representing Vince or his family at the time of the visits. You know, like I said in my last video, I know that there are some things that obviously QuanellX must have done to some people, but that doesn't take away what he's done for this case. He has been the only one to, no. He was one of the first people that I seen on the news speaking out saying that this is that was calling out Brittany. First person on the news to call out Brittany. And he's working with Brittany and he's calling out Brittany. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, people were like, he didn't find the videos. He didn't find this photo. He didn't do this. Y'all saying the man ain't did nothing. But for some reason, he walked up in that jail and I don't know what he said. And based on the interview that I heard, and I think that's that Fox 26 interview where they interview QuanellX, he said that no one told him to go up there and see Vince, to see Darion. He said he went up there because couldn't nobody else get him to say nothing, and he hadn't spoken and said anything. So he just went in there. What did he say? He said that's between him, Darion, and God, you know. And what did he say? I don't know. I sure would like to know, because whatever he said, it sure in the heck helped to find Maleah Davis, because without that, they were looking in Texas. Had nobody went to Arkansas, wasn't nobody thinking about looking in Arkansas. People were looking around the apartment. They were saying that Darion used to work a mail route. They were looking down his supposed mail route. No one had thought to go to Arkansas. Let me pull this map up. You see that? They looking in Houston. The body all the way in Arkansas. If it wasn't for QuanellX going in there, I don't know what he said. Unless we found out that he went in there and threatened him and said, I'm going to kill you. Then we going to be like, oh, dang, that's what you said to get him to. I mean, even though some of us would be like, hey, you got to do what you got to do. At least we done found the body. At least her body was found. Anyway, so I seen this. Oh, my God. And I don't even think I named it. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm throwing some stuff up. Okay, bam, there we go, right there. So I seen this and I said, let me read this to the people. I have to read this to the people. And this is really talking more about QuanellX. We're going to get a little bit more into QuanellX. Maleah Davis case. This is coming from KHOU 11. That apple juice is good. Sorry, people, I'm thirsty. Maleah Davis case eerily similar to heartbreaking 2008 double murder in Pasadena. Okay. The Maleah Davis case is eerily similar to another one mentioned by QuanellX and Tim Miller Friday. In the summer of 2008, 7-year-old Randy Sylvester Jr. and 3-year-old Denon Sylvester were reported missing from their Pasadena apartment complex. Hundreds of EquiSearch volunteers spent long, hot days looking for the children, and that's this little boy and girl right here on the side of Maleah. The father, Randy Sylvester Sr., told investigators the children were kidnapped by 2 men. They didn't believe him, but there wasn't enough evidence to charge Sylvester in connection with his children's disappearance. At one point, he told detectives they find Randy and Denon in a pond. They drained the entire pond, but found nothing. Then, a week after the children vanished, QuanellX convinced Sylvester to tell him where their bodies really were. Based on Quanell's tip, investigators found the partially burned children packed in a wooden chest inside a suitcase that was left in a wooded area of southeast Houston. Sylvester was arrested and charged with capital murder in the case. During his 2010 trial, testimony showed a neighbor had seen Sylvester leaving the apartment with a wooden chest. Police testified that Sylvester cleaned up the apartment to hide evidence. Sylvester pleaded guilty, was sentenced to life in prison. Many men have confessed these types of crimes to me and involving children, Quanell said, and the confession has always proven to be true. Texas EquiSearch found Tim Miller has worked with Quanell on other missing persons cases. Everybody may not agree with all of his methods, Miller said, but he's brought closure to many families. He's gotten stuff out of perpetrators that nobody else has been able to get. And now there's finally hope for closure in the case of Maleah Davis. And that's all that I'm saying. All the just trying to sit up here and throw stones and try to make videos talking about other things he did with other people to somehow throw him under the bus with this whole Maleah Davis case. Look, whatever he did with them other cases, you got to handle that separately. That's something that they're going to have to handle with him separately. But as far as this Maleah Davis case, and as far as what he was able to do for this case, and now finding out what he was able to do for the family of Randy and Denon Sylvester, kudos to QuanellX. Like, I don't know what else you want, people. Kudos to him. Because other than that, we wasn't finna get anything from Brittany. And no one has went on their own, went in there and said anything. So I don't know what he does. I don't know if he go in there and do some voodoo ritual spell over them. He hypnotizes them without them notice. And then they tell everything and then pop out and don't realize. I don't know. I don't know. And at this point, it really doesn't matter. Because for a month, we've been trying to figure out where Maleah was at. And for a month, people have been searching in Houston and Texas. And no one has said anything about Arkansas. Nothing. I heard nothing about Arkansas until Mr. QuanellX went and spoke to Darion Vince. So, yeah, kudos to him. So I wanted to read you all that one because I don't know if you heard of that, because I just think that props gotta be, props is due where it's due. And wherever he needs to be smacked on the hand at, you're going to smack that hand separately, because it has nothing to do with this Maleah Davis case. But anyway, people, tell me what you think about this whole thing. I guess the next thing that I'm waiting for, I guess the next things for me as far as this case that I feel like I'm waiting for is, I guess, for the DNA, for them to confirm that that is Maleah Davis, because we already know that it is. Okay? No one, like I said, no one was even looking in Arkansas. QUANELL then went and spoke to Darion. Darion gave them a location. They checked the location. They checked, bam, or they checked where the bag was at, whatever. They checked, and some stuff was found. So we already know that that's her. But I guess I'm just waiting for the confirmation on that. Waiting for the murder charge to be brought up against Darion Vance. And to see what they're going to do as far as Brittany Bowens, because I feel like that momentarily something will be brought up against her. Now, I don't think it will be anything to do with murder. I think her charge is going to be completely separate from Darion's, because she did not kill her daughter per se, but you definitely didn't help the cause. You and CPS. CPS should be brought up on charges too. And that judge, when I played that video, I forgot what that judge name that QuanellX mentioned is the one that released Maleah back to the family. Because she said that she, even though she's saying things, not quite anything to say that it was abuse. Yeah. We know they not, but I'm just saying. Someone, the CPS and that judge, y'all need to be in a little trouble too. But I guess see what happened with that. And I guess I'm a little interested in hearing what Craig Davis have to say, Maleah's biological father, and I guess Darion's family, now that he has confessed this. Or are they going to say the same thing? Well, I'm expecting they're going to say the same thing that Darion's attorney is saying. That's not true. And why are you believing what QuanellX says? He makes his money off of scams. There's no validity in anything that he has said. There's not a one validity. So I don't even know, people. But please make sure that you, once again, like always, let me throw this one up there. Please make sure you like and share this video. And subscribe to Geneva's Closet right here on YouTube if you haven't already done so. And make sure you follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. Once again, shout out to all of you, all the interviewers who did the interviews, all the family and friends who came out and spoke your truth about this case, who showed emails, who showed whatever you showed in text messages. Shout out to all the people who made Facebook groups, all the people who started pages specifically to help spread the word about this Maleah Davis case, to all the YouTubers talking about it, to all just the people interested in it. Like I said, all my people sending me information about it. Geneva, did you see this? Do you know about this? Kudos to y'all. That just lets you know that when we're invested in something, we coming full force with it. From every angle, we come in full force. Rest in peace, Maleah Davis. This was a sad case, and like I said before, I did not like talking about it. I just felt like that I needed, if I found anything, then I would let you know. And actually, we should be going over the papers real soon from that whole CPS thing. What exactly happened? Because after I read those papers, I seen some pretty interesting things in there that just a few things that I found that stood out to me that I think that you'll be a little interested in. And other people may be talking about it, but I want to talk about it with you. We're going to break it down how we do it over here in Geneva's Closet. Again, please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so, people. I appreciate you. You have a fabulous rest of your day. I'll talk to you later, people. Bye.